Okay, buckle up, because this is how and why your store keeps on failing and you can't build a profitable, scalable, consistent business. I'm not messing around in this video. I'm going to share with you everything. I'm not doing this to rank in the algorithm. There is a lot of useful information in this video, so put down your phone, and if you can give me 15, 20 minutes, trust me, it's going to make a huge difference to your business and the amount of income that you can generate. Now, although this store here looks like it's making a lot of money, $37,000 in 30 days is an incredible amount of money, but that's not the full picture, because you're not understanding how much profit this store is making. And what's actually happening behind the scenes here is very typical for most newbie beginner business owners, especially e-commerce owners and dropshippers. And you've probably been through a very similar cycle where you've built an e-commerce store, maybe you've built a dropshipping store, and it's scaled very, very rapidly. And when you're at the top, you're at the height of life, you feel like you're a millionaire, and then just as quickly as it scales, it suddenly comes plummeting down quicker than it scaled, and you end up losing thousands of dollars. And if you're maybe in this position here where you're starting to scale, well, I want to make sure that you're not going to hit this plateau and then suddenly drop. I want to make sure you build a sustainable business. Now, this is a store that I worked on. This is a $200,000 per month store, multi-million dollars per year for this e-commerce brand. And I know this is not a typical store, and I know this is like a very large amount of revenue that's being generated, and the profits obviously aren't $200,000 a month. But the really key thing that I want you to notice here is if we can compare these two stores, they're both in exactly a 1 month period. This one does $200,000 in 1 month, and this one does $37,000 in 1 month. You can notice that obviously this has a very, very quick exponential growth and then a massive decline, whereas this one has a very consistent minimum base threshold of how much money it's making. And then obviously there's a maximum, and it sort of jumps between the two. And although it's making thousands of dollars per day, the principles that work in this business, that I built for this business, are applicable to any size business. So if you're making $20 a day, $1,000 a day, or $10,000 a day, these business models and these principles are exactly what you need to make sure you have set up in your business to see long-term sustainable results, because we're building a business where we can make money for ourselves. We can take a salary from, we can have time, location, freedom. We want to be able to scale it in a way that allows us to do what we want and live a life that we want. And building stores and e-commerce businesses like this is not going to allow us to achieve that. So how on earth do you build a sustainable business? We want to make sure this is going to last for all year round. So where do you start? Who do you hire? Who do you need to bring on? What specific things do I need to have for long-term business wealth? You know, what setup do I need to have? What structure? What things are you missing from your business? In this video, I'm going to break down absolutely everything that you need to be able to see success in your business. So you're going to learn 3 things. First of all, how, as a beginner, you can steal the secret $100,000 a year blueprint for a scalable business. Then I'm going to teach you the exact framework that million-dollar brands are using to maximize profits and scale fast. This is a huge one, being able to increase profit margins through systems in your business that allows it to not only scale quicker, have higher profits, but also see sustainable results in that business. Then I'm going to teach you the simple line of code. It's a simple application that you can add to your website that's going to allow you to scale faster and more profitably than any of your competition. And as a bonus, if you get to the end of this video, you are going to have the opportunity to plug in the exact systems that I built for this $200,000 a month business, and you can plug it into your own business if you stay around until the end of this video. So this is where I started. You know, we are the same piece of people. We've been through exactly the same things. There's no difference between you or I. And although that $200,000 a month business isn't my personal business, the business things that I learned working with them, I then applied to my own businesses, and I want to show you the results that I got from that and the results that I got from working with other people. Okay, so I actually built a couple of e-commerce stores right at the start, and I actually started with dropshipping. And you can see I had some fairly good ones. This one here, $10,000 per month, then managed to scale it to $35,000 a month. And I was getting lots and lots of people onto the websites. But I was paying too much attention to marketing. And this is the first problem that you're having in your business, especially as somebody when you're just starting. When you start to get money coming in, it's addictive. The dopamine is incredibly high. So all you do is focus on where the next customer is going to come from. You do not focus on how to retain that customer and also what's going on behind the scenes in your business. So here's what actually happened. I scaled that business over probably about a 4 or 5 month period, and it was scaling pretty consistently. It wasn't as rapid as the growth in the first image that I showed you, but it was scaling consistently until again it reached a plateau. And then what happened was I started to realize everything was crumbling down in the business, and I hadn't been focusing on these aspects of the business until suddenly it started to fall, and it fell dramatically quickly. And the problem was, the more time that I spent trying to fix the problems, the quicker the business fell. And I'll explain how that happens now. And as a result of that, I ended up getting thousands of dollars in debt. So how does that actually work? Well, what was going on was I was marketing my product. I was bringing in thousands of customers for my e-commerce brand. And as those people were coming through, a lot of them were having difficulties with their orders, with their products, and they didn't get the customer experience that they were promised when they first bought the product. So I was actually ignoring a lot of these problems because I didn't realize that the email account had hundreds of people emailing in. And also I just kind of didn't want to face the problem. So I just sort of ignored it, hoping it would go away, and hoping that although some people were, having problems, that more people who would come into the business would, outweigh those negative effects. But obviously that's not the way things work. And then suddenly people started to dispute their orders. Now at the start, when I first ran my first business, I didn't know what disputes were. And essentially, if you don't know what they are, it essentially means that somebody who's paid for something from your store can go to their credit card company and say, look, I didn't make this purchase, give me the money back. And these people weren't, they weren't necessarily trying to destroy my business, but as a result of this happening, my business was destroyed because I was spending thousands of pounds trying to fix these problems in the business. I'd already shipped their orders, so I'd spent money on advertising to get the customer. I'd spent money to actually ship the order on the product costs, and then I lost that dispute, which means I had to refund them the money they had paid me. Plus, I had to pay them a $15 fee on top of it. So I was, at this point, things were just falling apart. And I was working frantically trying to sort out the problems in my business. I was no longer working on marketing. So actually what was happening was I was no longer bringing on customers to sort of outweigh the decline in business, which meant I just had exponential decline in my business until eventually I lost my Stripe account. The dispute rates got too high. They put a load of money on hold. I then had to send all of that money back to people, had to refund orders. I had to work with, bringing on people to actually deal with all of this customer complaints and stuff within Gmail and all of my email services and customer support ticketing and all of that. And it took weeks and weeks and weeks of stress to actually finally get this all sorted out. And as a result, although that my store was making, in 1 month it made $35,000, and these numbers seemed good, as a result of all of this, I actually ended up losing about $5,000. So what actually happened? Well, towards the end, as the business started to decline, I went into full-on panic mode, and I started to try and hire people off Upwork, bring on VAs and employees to basically deal with all of these problems, because I didn't have the time to be doing all of this myself, and moreover, I didn't actually want to be doing it. So I hired people off Upwork, and you've probably done the same thing. And actually, finally, I realized that I'd done everything wrong, right? I built the business upside down. And here's what I mean by that. When you're first starting, you're building a business because you want to make money. And when you want to make money, the only thing that you want to focus on is marketing. So that is, for most dropshippers and e-commerce brands, short form content through things like TikTok or paid advertising. All of my time and energy and resources were spent on getting thousands of views for my product. This isn't obviously my product, but you get the idea. And then obviously I was bringing on customers. And then as things started to go wrong, I started to basically add in systems into my business. So for example, first of all, I focused exclusively on marketing. And then I got to here and I thought, you know what, now we're going to need some sort of fulfillment system. So I added that in. Okay, now we're going to need some sort of tracking system. So I added that in. Then I got to this point, I was like, right, now we've got a lot of customers coming in here. We need some sort of customer support type of thing. Now we need someone to deal with the disputes. Now we need someone to check up on the order tracking and fulfillment. And I was just basically frantically trying to just add in these bits of the business as it was scaling, because in my mind, there was no point in focusing on all of these things before I had customers. Sorry. And while part of that's true, I've actually now found a system that enables me to do a lot of this stuff without actually having to hire a single person. And actually it allows us to build a business in the correct way, where we build the infrastructure and the systems straight away. So we have someone to deal with the emails in our business. We have something to do with all the customer support. We have a way for customers to feel value and get the information that they want and need. There is a way for people to be able to get refunds if they want. There's a way for people to be able to track their orders. And then we can start to focus on marketing. But like I said earlier, and you're probably in the same position, right? You don't want to spend time on this stuff, because by spending time on this stuff, you're taking that time away from marketing. And if you're taking time away from marketing, you're bringing on less customers and you're making less money in in your business. And this is, by the way, guys, this is stuff that I help, some of the paid guys that I work with, some of the brands that I work with in e-commerce stores that use my product, they all know this stuff. And it's insanely valuable, the amount of stuff I'm sharing in this video. I'm really hoping it's helping you guys. If it's really helping, don't forget, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. So I then decided, right, this is quite difficult to do because I was actually hiring people, and it was very time consuming, very expensive, and incredibly annoying. Right? I was hiring a VA to do all the customer service. I was hiring people, interviewing people, training people, blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. But it started to work. I saw results, and I launched a new business, and I moved those people over to a new business. And although I wasn't making as much per day, I was able to keep that business steady. And for months and months and months, I was making tens of thousands of dollars, and that business was remaining consistent. And for me, this was much better than the previous business that I was running. 64% returning customer rate. I had spent a huge amount of time building the infrastructure for this business. And although it was expensive and time consuming to do, it was worthwhile for me because I could now have a reliable income stream and a business that I could keep on scaling. And now I had a business that was growing consistently. I knew month on month that I was going to make the same, if not more money than I did the previous month because I was having a very high returning customer rate. I had high satisfaction in my customers. They were all getting their orders on time. They were all getting the products that they needed and they wanted. I was gathering important data from the people visiting my website to be able to iterate and improve and make my service better for my customers. So eventually, I ended up setting up an automation using ChatGPT to basically build out this system. And this is what I want to talk to you about today because this is the real needle mover. This is exactly what allowed me to spend more time with marketing and scale my businesses quicker. Because I now realize that instead of hiring VAs and appointment setters and people to work in my business to actually deal with these customers, I could actually now use ChatGPT. I had people who were visiting my website from all of my marketing channels, and they had questions. They were shopping around, and maybe some of them bought, but they still had questions and needed support. I had people visiting my website who didn't know what products to purchase, and I could basically then train an AI brain, essentially, in a matter of minutes on everything on my website. So basically what I did is I created a system which would allow me to give ChatGPT knowledge. So every single product on my website, my refund policy, my terms and conditions, all of that information was given to the AI, which now meant when somebody came onto the website, they could ask the chatbot for a simple question. And that would be things like, where is my order? Or how can I track my order? Or I need a refund. And it would be able to give them the information that they needed to be able to deal with that problem. But I ended up needing a system to deal with complex issues because although I was dealing with most of the simple requests through a chat reply, that's not enough because these simple requests are just things that are clogging up the email account. They're not necessarily things that are going to cause your business to fail, but they are things that are going to slow down how long it takes for you to get to the problems that are highly complex, that require your attention, that could kill your business. So I built a system which would allow me to prioritize complex issues. So if somebody comes in and they talk to the AI and they have a complex problem, such as they need a refund or their order never arrived or they're going to dispute their payment, the model would then prioritize that as a high priority problem. It would alert me and then hand this off to a human. So then I could go in and I could then reply to that customer and deal with that problem. But on top of that, I could then actually get the AI to draft out an initial response to that customer and deal with that support ticket. And then that way I could speed up how quickly and how long it would take for me to deal with that customer. So now the only touch point that I ever had was clicking on this send email button if obviously, it would draft a response here. And if this isn't making any sense to you, don't worry, I'm going to go through this in a bit more detail. But as I started to scale my business, as I worked on my business more, I started to add in more revenue boosting features because now what I was able to do, where are we? Right, if we go to that pyramid that I showed you earlier, all of this stuff here, I was able to add with code. This was a coded solution that could deal with customer support. It could deal with support ticketing. It could gather feedback from customers. It was gathering data and information that would help me scale my business. So I built all of that, and now I thought, well, I've got time. Why not add extra revenue boosting features? So I thought, right, one thing that's really useful is my email list. I was emailing people. I had abandoned cart sequences. I had campaigns that I was sending out to people, and that was attributed to roughly about 10 to 15% of the revenue that my business was generating. And you guys will probably know this if you have an email list. Obviously, the more people that come into your email list, the more opportunities you have to sell to them. You don't have to spend any money on marketing. I mean, there's a tiny little bit for like the cost of emails, but it's not a lot. So I thought, well, people are talking to the chatbot anyway. Why not gather their email addresses? So I set that up, and that started to work in the business as well. It wasn't thousands of leads coming in, but it was definitely boosting the amount of leads that I was gathering. But then I thought, look, this is a really cool idea. Why not allow me to have AI product recommendations? I would then be able to let the AI read all of the products on my website, understand the features, the benefits, and the problems that these products solve, and then allow customers to come in, ask for a specific solution, and the AI to recommend a specific product from my store. And you can see here, this is a demonstration product that I built, and it says, look, recommend me a product for dry skin. It's gone ahead and it's found this specific facial oil. It's given me some details about that product, and it's also linked me to that product, which means now if I'm running ads to my website and somebody's on either a product page or the checkout page or on the home page, and they don't know what product to buy, the chatbot can give them that information there and then, and they can start to increase the average order value. We can start to bundle products together. And then I added in automated support ticketing. And this, by the way, is like part of the human handoff. So someone would ask a question to the chatbot. If it can't deal with that, if it's a complex issue, they could go through automated support ticketing. We could gather that support ticket and then deal with it on the back end of the business. And it worked. It worked even better, right? And this, by the way, is the stuff that I used with this $200,000 a year business. This business here was not making $200,000 per month when I started working with it. And this is the stuff that's incredibly important, right? Because not only am I able to build a business in a proper way, where I'm building the proper groundwork, the support systems that then allow me to scale, but also I'm gathering useful feedback, right? I know what problems people have. If somebody comes onto my website and they talk to that chatbot on the website and they say, look, does this product fix dry skin? Or how much of this product do I need to use? I now know that they are having what the limiting beliefs are that's stopping that customer from purchasing. So now I can take that information and I can update my product pages. So I'm increasing my conversion rates. I'm increasing my conversion rates anyway because I've got an AI recommending products and bundling them together. But I'm able to then start to make more money per order that comes through my store, which means I'm making more profit. I can spend more on ads. I'm also firing all of my VAs because I don't need anybody to deal with customer support anymore. I have a scalable AI solution that can respond to customers consistently through a chatbot that scales as my business scales, and the price remains pretty much exactly the same as my business scales. So I decided to create this into a software that will do all of this for you. And this is what I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I have a bunch of AI systems that you can use in your business that will allow you to see the same results. And essentially what you have is a chatbot training playground, right? You are able to build a chatbot trained on your company's data, but that chatbot is able to do more than just answer people's questions. You're able to recommend products from people. It can read the product information from specific pages on your website. You can see here, right? This is an example I built, 55,000 words this model is trained on. Every single product on this website the AI has access to. You can just upload your data, you can scrape your entire website and then use that data for your chatbot. Like I say, you can gather leads. All of this lead information comes directly into your system. You can see all the leads that you've got, and then you can download those leads and then upload them into Klaviyo or whatever your email marketing system is. There's automated support ticketing, so all of the problems that people have with your business come into one place. You can see them here. You can see the subject of that support ticket. The AI will prioritize those support tickets. It will be able to tell you if it's a high or low or medium priority. It'll categorize them for you so you know what to focus on. You know what the most important problems are in your business. You can then actually see the conversations that they were having with your AI chatbot. You can then actually draft out a response to that customer. You can actually give the AI information. For example, please tell the customer that we do not offer refunds, but we will be able to cancel their subscription. The AI can go ahead, take that information, and it can then draft out a response to that customer. And then all I need to do is send the information directly via SendGrid. And now that customer has been dealt with, I can close that support ticket. I can analyze customer conversations and chat history. I can see all the conversations that people are having with the chatbot. Here, this chatbot's got 118 messages in a 24-hour period. That's a lot of information. That's a lot of data that I'm able to use in my business that I can then add to my website. For example, here, right, this is a chatbot that's on my own website. How does ChatIQ deal with hallucinations? I know that this is a problem that people have. So if I add this information to my website, I'm going to increase my conversion rates. But also in this conversation here, this person is able to get the answer to the question that they need. And if that answer is good enough, they may sign up for the product. And this is what allowed me to scale this brand to over $200,000. So if you want to get set up with this, I want to have the opportunity to get on a free demo call with you. There is no, There's no obligation to bring your credit card to this demo call. It's not an expensive software. Like, I'm not going to try and sell you on a $10,000 product. I'm not going to try and sell you on a $1,000 a month product. It's a very cheap piece of software, but I want the opportunity to show you how it works. We've got very limited spots. We work with you. We build the product for you. We train the product for you. We implement it for you. We customize it for you. We set up support ticketing. We set up the product recommendations. We integrate it and put it directly into your website. There is literally nothing that you need to do other than book in for a demo call with the top link down below in the description. We will then show you exactly what the product does and how it can help you. If you want to go ahead, we can sign you up to the plan, and then we can get it set up on your website. And I guarantee you will start to see results from this software in your business. And if that doesn't happen, if you don't see results, if you don't start to automate customer support, if you don't save money, if you don't increase conversion rates and start to scale your business and you have a scalable support system, I will give you your money back. And there is a cost for me to run the business, right? There's a cost for me to run the software for you. So if you're using the software and you decide you don't like it, I'll give you your money back, and I will incur a cost. That is how confident I am that this product will help you with your business. And guys, I'm not just making this up, right? I have over 12,000 people using my product. They are thousands and thousands of people who are seeing results just like I did in my business. This guy here is making $42,000 in his first month using AI recommendations, using my software. This guy here, $1,000 a day using product recommendations from my software. This guy, $50,000 a month using product recommendations from my software. This guy's automating customer support. The whole system is set up for you. So guys, if you get on a demo with me, just to give you a rough idea of what the software is going to do for you, we're going to automatically train an AI on your website for your business. We're going to customize the branding. We can embed it into your website, and it can understand your contact details. It can understand important links on your website, tracking links. It can give all the information to your customers straight away. But I wanted to focus on efficiency and 24/7 support so you can get instant AI replies. Here's a huge one: custom AI memory. One of the biggest problems with AI solutions is they hallucinate. Well, not with our software, because once a question has been asked, you as a business can go in and draft out a response and make sure that response is accurate. And then every single time somebody asks that question again in the future, the AI will use that response from its memory. So it's learning as it's going. Human handoff. You don't need to have anybody working in your business on customer support, but if you want, the chatbot can hand that information off to a human. It can draft out responses, and then somebody can just submit those support tickets. Built-in support ticketing and prioritization. It works 24/7. It integrates directly with SendGrid. So if you've got your customer support email set up on SendGrid, it will integrate directly with SendGrid. You just need to click one button. It will send out that email to that customer. It's automatically generating responses to tickets, prioritizing, gathering leads, but also it's giving AI product recommendations. If somebody comes to your website and they're not sure what product to buy, or they're looking for a bundle of products, then it will go ahead and do that. I want to give you an example. Here, I said to the chatbot, I want to buy my girlfriend a gift, probably around $50. What can I get her? It said here, right, you can get this soap, and also if you get this rose bath bar for $28, that's going to bring you to over $50. So here's a 15% discount code. And it's going to give you links to both of those products, which is going to allow you to increase your average order value. And it's bundling products together for customers based on specific recommendations and specific solutions that these people want coming to your website. And like I say, I've built this system. It's ready to get going. It's ready to get set up. It's incredibly easy to use. It's not expensive. If you want to get using this, don't forget to book a demo call with me. Click the top link down below in the description. If you want, you can watch this video. It's going to give you a little bit more information, and then you can book on a demo call. I'll show you what it does. If you've got any questions, if there's any customizations that you need in the software, I can go ahead and build those out for you. But the basic gist of this is I want the opportunity to get on a call with you and show you what the product does. If you guys have got any questions, leave them down below in the comments. And like I say, the link for booking a call is the top link down below in the description. Don't forget to subscribe.